All right, y'all, we're going to get into the case of Christopher Dorner, a police officer's descent into violence. Right now, this was definitely a huge case, man, a huge situation that was going on all over the news. We were watching it day by day. He went on one. It felt like the movie, what's that movie called? Law Abiding Citizen. It felt similar to that. Kind of, if you saw Law Abiding Citizen, you know what I'm talking about. But this is Christopher Dorner. Let's get into it, man. Let's learn more about the situation.
In 2013, a killing spree would unfold in California.
Officer shot multiple times.
That would grip the United States.
Deputies say the killer could be anywhere.
And grab headlines across the globe.
The man who did this was a monster.
Targeting his former employers at the LAPD.
He was willing to do anything to kill police officers and their families and to get away.
Ex-cop Christopher Dorner would embark on a vigilante mission for vengeance.
He held a pistol out the window and fired multiple shots.
As the clock ticked, the body count rose.
The truck had a window down, assault rifle out of it, and started shooting.
Another officer down.
And with it the question, what could have provoked Christopher Dorner to commit his killing spree?
He was going to get even through the barrel of a gun.
Big Bear, California.
Surrounded by the vast wilderness of the San Bernardino National Forest, the tranquil mountain town of Big Bear is one of Southern California's most popular tourist destinations.
Big Bear is a great little mountain town.
Big Bear and its environs, its neighbors, are a huge pine forest, essentially.
Big Bear.
We're out in the wilderness, kind of, so that's what people like here.
That nigga looks strung out.
Yet on February the 12th, 2013, at the height of the normally bustling ski season, the atmosphere and peace of this picturesque resort was shattered.
A manhunt underway right now for a former Los Angeles police officer accused of murdering 3 people.
Law enforcement authorities from across the state had descended on the tranquil area as they sought a spree killer on the run.
We were all on edge, we're all keeping weapons by the door.
Trying Big Bear up.
People were taking precautions.
The lone gunman had left a trail of carnage across California's cityscape before hiding out in the mountains. Christopher Dorner was now the most wanted man in America.
There is a possibility that he's out here, and that's why we're out here searching.
Mm-hmm.
The search involved every level of law enforcement in the United States.
Everybody was looking for this motherfucker. He was on one, and it was too public. It was all over the news, and they don't like that shit. They got to show out when there's something like that going on. They gonna send everybody. That shit was making too much noise. That nigga was going on one, making them look weak. Oh no, they not going for that. So they have to make an example out of this man.
I would say thousands of police officers were involved.
This was one of the largest deployments of policing agencies in my memory.
The threat posed by Dorner was palpable.
Any police officer that tried to arrest him or contact him would be a target.
And apprehending him would be a challenge for detectives that had little precedent.
Mr. Dorner's military training, his police training, the type and nature of weapons that we knew that he had in his possession heightened our concerns.
Nigga had some
we
shit.
didn't get much sleep during that period of time.
Nigga had some shit.
After several days spent scouring the mountains, it was believed that the elusive killer may have slipped the net.
He went to ground. Didn't leave any, what we'd call a heat signature. You couldn't find him.
Chasing one they own.
However, In the early afternoon of the 12th of February, Dorner broke cover and was reported to police, sparking fresh life into the sprawling search efforts.
They chasing one of their own, man. They like, shit, this nigga's top tier. He know how we think. He know how we move. Y'all done create a monster, man. Let's see. This was the thing I scratched my head on, though. The day that they say they got him, I still scratch my head on that one. Let's see. Let's get caught up.
Lock down the mountain.
We heard the broadcast over the radio that Dorner had been sighted.
Threw our raid vests on and we just headed out.
We knew that he had already killed multiple people. The first thing that was going through my mind is, if we do find him, we were going to be involved in a shooting with him.
Dorner was not rational. He was unpredictable, willing to do anything to get away. There was no question, at least in my mind, that this was going to end in more killing.
Local scout camp leader Rick Helterbrake was on the mountain that day, unaware of the drama that was beginning to unfold.
I came down the road, I'm just checking the perimeter, as I call it. All this right as you see is all my property, all this stuff. So I'm checking to make sure nobody's down here, no snow players, no vehicles, basically just doing a security check. So I'm driving up here, just minding my own business, a day like any other day. Roughly about in here someplace, I see movement up here on the left.
Oh, this is my property.
I don't know what it is. And right about in here, I see a crashed car.
At around 12:45 p.m., Rick would lay eyes on the man who was the subject of one of the nation's largest ever manhunts.
Within a split second or so, seemingly, I came up and Christopher Dorner came out of the snowbank at me with a rifle pointed at me.
So he crashed this. So they're saying he crashed his truck on this man's property in Big Bear. And this guy is saying he the one that saw him. Nobody else could find him. They did search in Big Bear days before or whatever. They couldn't find him. And all of a sudden, he pops up in a car that's wrecked on the side of the highway of this Big Bear property that this man owns, and he sees him. Okay. So, sounds a little sloppy. All right, let's keep watching. So he crashed his truck. All right.
In 1979, 34 years prior to his ruthless spree, Christopher Dorner and his family moved from New York to the middle-class neighborhood of Norwalk in Southern California.
He was raised in a middle-income society, not a ghetto. His family wasn't tremendously poor.
Despite his tranquil suburban surroundings, from an early age, Dorner would develop the sense that the world was against him.
I remember him telling me that he was the only African-American child in his class or in his neighborhood. He would regularly get beat up after school. There were, other bullies in the neighborhood who would give him a hard time.
He's from Norwalk. All right, so those of you who don't know where Norwalk is let me see. What would y'all know? Long Beach, north of Long Beach, north of Cerritos. What would be the closest city y'all know to Norwalk? Downey is out there. Downey and Norwalk is like connected. But yeah, it's more Hispanics than blacks for sure. I don't really know too many black people stay in Norwalk, but it is black people in Norwalk. Don't get it twisted. But it is primarily Hispanic for sure. And there's some nice areas out there. Downey and Norwalk got some nice homes too. You know what I mean? But okay, I didn't know he was from Norwalk.
To hear him tell it was racially motivated.
At college, friends recall Dorner as outgoing and well-educated.
I met Chris Dorner in college. He and I played football together.
So he played football.
He was clean cut,
okay,
articulate, pretty easy to get along with. He was approachable, good sense of humor. He wasn't somebody who was serious all the time. He'd laugh and smile and, was, normal. I mean, he was a normal 19-year-old, 20-year-old guy.
However, Dorner's habit of painting himself as a victim of prejudice would continue.
He was very conscious of how people treated him. I don't think that he was all that thrilled about our coaches on the football team. He commented to me that he thought that particular coach was racist.
See, that's the only thing about police officers, right? When you're hiring and doing the hiring process, you can't really tell the mental psyche of these officers and how they're saying right here, like, his shit stemmed from elementary and going into college, like, he felt like, people were being racist to him, and he probably held some resentment for the Hispanic community. And it's the same shit when all these cops, man, they be getting hired. You can't tell that part of them how they really feel inside. Because a lot of these motherfuckers, you can tell, like, you done run across some white cops who don't fuck with niggas, and niggas who don't fuck with Hispanics who don't fuck with blacks, like the officers. You could tell, and it's like, that's cold. You get these motherfuckers who've been holding something since elementary with a certain race, a job as a police officer, and then they get power to now go at those people. And that's what be happening, man. That shit's fucked up. But, I mean, how can you tell when you're hiring these motherfuckers? You don't know. But it's a lot of that be going on, man. A lot of these motherfuckers was getting bullied in high school, you know what I'm saying? Getting bullied in elementary, getting bullied in their neighborhood by certain races, and they hold that resentment. They finna go make an example out of you niggas. I got the power now, so now I'm finna make an example out of you niggas. But, yeah, let's keep watching.
Dorner's problems with authority would continue after college. Having spent time enlisted in the Navy Reserves, his tendency to blame others was again noted when he joined the LAPD.
In his short time at the LAPD, Christopher Dorner was the center of a lot of controversy. He made several complaints against other officers. He saw everything that happened to him that wasn't to his liking as a consequence of his race or of some overall scheme against him.
See what I'm saying? That nigga was they said in his short time as an LAPD officer, so he wasn't even there long. And they said off the rip, nigga, he was making complaints about, shit dealing with situations because of his race. That's what he was on since elementary. And they hired him. He got through the hiring process. And now he bringing that shit with the badge on, he bringing it to them. He still for that resentment, like niggas hating on him because he's black. And then I guess, let's see what happens.
He was a troubled man.
Christopher Dorner's festering resentment would eventually overwhelm him, and extreme violence would be the tragic consequence. In 2013, Christopher Dorner would perpetrate a killing spree that would leave California paralyzed by fear.
Law enforcement throughout Southern California is heightened and aware and concerned and scared because any one of them could have been his next target.
The former LAPD man would turn fugitive and orchestrate a campaign of murder that would draw international attention and spark a massive manhunt.
I think at one point in time, the rewards throughout Southern California for his apprehension amounted to over $1.5 million.
Damn. Wait a minute, hold on. Did y'all get that memo? $1.5 million to find that nigga? Oh, shit. I don't think they put that memo out in the ghetto. I don't remember that. I don't remember hearing that shit. $1.5 million? Nigga, what? You see how, nigga, Viral Way, nigga said, nigga, what? I'm finna get that money, nigga. $1.5 million? For sure, nigga. And he was a cop? Nigga, what? Niggas finna get cuz up out of there.
The extraordinary spree would begin in puzzling circumstances. The 3rd of February, 2013, 7:30 p.m. The city of Irvine, 40 miles southeast of Los Angeles.
You got cracking in Irvine.
27-year-old Monica Kwan and her fiancé Keith Lawrence were found slain in the parking lot at their apartment building.
was a coach in the school system and a very well respected individual in the community. She was engaged to Keith Lawrence.
So
The man
they
who
both
did this
got
was a
killed.
monster.
Initially, the motivation for this predatory crime seemed difficult to determine.
Irvine Police Department were stunned by the randomness of the selection of victims in this crime. They are young people with no enemies, no connection to crime, no history of violence. And so detectives were at a loss.
With police on tactical alert across this region tonight, men and women in uniform as well as the community are remembering Monica Kwan, a heartbreaking day as police search for a killer.
However, in the early hours of the 4th of February, Christopher Dorner would not only claim responsibility for the killings, but announce his plans to continue his spree by targeting police officers. Holed up in an unassuming motel, Dorner posted a multi-page manifesto online. Upon discovery of the sprawling document, police began their investigation.
Today, we have identified Christopher Jordan Dorner as a suspect in this double homicide.
The manifesto outlined Dorner's motives.
In this rambling manifesto posted on Dorner's Facebook page, he details everything.
In this rambling manifesto, what's up with this manifesto shit? So everybody who go on these fucking crime sprees writes a fucking manifesto. It's always a manifesto. I'm like, who the fuck started that? I don't know. Sometimes I be feeling like, sometimes the government put these manifestos in place to paint the picture and the narrative that they're trying to paint, which we all know they do. Sometimes it may be a manifesto. Yes, I believe sometimes it's manifesto. But sometimes I'll be like, y'all niggas put that there. Y'all drew that one up. Because it'd be like, man, it sells the story, man. You know, they got to push narratives, man. This shit is, they got to push narratives to clear their, because you know it's three sides to the story right here. It's three sides to every story, but you know, everything we're hearing right now is shit that they want us to know or believe about him. Then there's his side of things, which he'll never be able to tell because he's gone, and it's the truth. You know what I mean? But let's see what they're talking about.
And made clear his grievances with the LAPD.
Christopher Dorner had a troubled history with Los Angeles Police Department. On his probationary period, his training officer counseled him about his performance. Soon after that, he made allegations of excessive force against her during an arrest. Those allegations were not supported by witnesses or fact, and because of that, Dorner charges were soon applied against Dorner, and he was terminated from the Los Angeles Police Department for being untruthful.
Damn, so that nigga wasn't there long. They made it seem like this nigga was a part of the force for a minute. How they painted the picture. See, they got to put that in detail. Like, he wasn't there long enough to, they was making it seem like that nigga been there. I'm talking about from the, back in the day when they, like, was reporting this shit. But shit, they said he had problems. Nigga, probation period, he was causing ruckus. Then got hired, causing ruckus. Then got fired for lying. And, you know, there we go. Now, here we go. Let's kick this shit off. He wants retaliation. All this build-up he has since elementary, he takes it out on these people. All right, got you.
He felt that because of his race in law enforcement, that affected his professional career in a detrimental way.
He was an injustice collector. He was a person that believed that nothing that ever happened to him was as a result of his own doing.
The worst thing about these setbacks for him were, because he was a narcissist, it was stripping him of everything that he held true. His identity, his service record. You take that away from a narcissist, the outer trappings of success, then there's nothing left for him to...
They painting a cold picture on this nigga, y'all. See, like, nobody has nothing good to say about this guy at all. They are pushing the cold narrative. Who is his parents? Like, what is his... All they show was he grew up in Norwalk. Like, can we see some more detail on that? Like, who was his parents? Like, what his friend? Like, they just paint a cold narrative like he just hated the world. He hated the world. He felt like everybody treated him wrong because of his race. But they're not really giving us no details. They're just like painting one narrative and pouring fuel on that shit to make this nigga like this crazy, mad at the world motherfucker who was being treated with racism, and he had so much grudge and he was a narcissist. I don't know about that. I don't know.
I have.
Vengeance is a very powerful motivation in spree killing. We see their victims, they see villains.
Vengeance.
And so they want to get even through the barrel of a gun.
They trying to paint this nigga cold, boy.
Further reading of the sprawling document would uncover Dorner's twisted logic behind classifying Monica Kwan as a legitimate target for his vengeance.
Monica Kwan is the daughter of Randy Kwan, an LAPD captain, the individual who had represented him, not prosecuted him, represented him at his administrative hearing during which he was terminated, fired from the Los Angeles Police Department. Dorner decided to pick them as his avenue for revenge.
So they're saying the captain that represented him at his hearing where he got fired, he's taking the revenge out on the captain. I lost everything, so now I'm finna make you lose. I'm finna make you lose. I was never able to start a family, so I'm finna take your family from you or make you lose something of importance to you. Okay, got you.
The circumstances of the young couple's deaths would give investigators a chilling insight into the cold-blooded mind of Christopher Dorner.
It appears that it was an ambush. Multiple rounds were fired. I doubt that either of them had any time to know what or who was happening.
They were caught very off guard and basically slaughtered, executed.
Victims had no opportunity to escape or respond, that it was calculated. This was a crime of great brutality.
Nah, man, we need to know what really happened here to make somebody go this dark, allegedly, like go this dark on y'all. It's not adding up to me. I'm sorry, you can't just feed me shit and I'm gonna swallow it. Like, how does someone get hired as the LAPD that y'all see fit to serve? Y'all hired this nigga. How does somebody go from that to this in a short matter of time? Like, what did y'all do? What did y'all say? It's something like to make a nigga be like, fuck it, I'm finna go and want to kill your family and do all this. It ain't just because you're fired. Nah, I'm not rolling with that. I'm not rolling with that. Just because I'm the one that's in your hearing, and then all of a sudden when you get fired, you go kill the person that was representing you kids. What was the purpose? What was he told by this motherfucker who was representing him? What was to make a nigga say, I'm finna go kill your kids, dog? That's not just because you represented me and we lost the trial. I'm not rolling with that. I'm not rolling with that. Me personally, I'm not rolling with that.
He claimed he was not done and that he was still going to go after other law enforcement officers.
The unique threat posed by Dorner's military training and knowledge of police tactics had officers on edge.
When Christopher Dorner went on his rampage, every law enforcement agency around was aware of him. We were all on high alert.
His rampage.
He had, specialized training with weapons. He's aware of.
See, y'all notice, look, he's in the military. They're not highlighting nothing about him in the military. He served his country. They didn't talk about nothing about that. They're going like he's just a kid that was damaged by race in elementary. And he took it with him his whole life, even when he played football in college. And then when he got hired on the force, he took it there too. And then he got fired, and then he took it out and killed everybody. Like, no, nigga, what made this nigga snap? What was done by the force his time there? What did y'all really do? Nobody just ups and go kill somebody's family. Nigga, like, that's dark. I'm gonna go take away your kids, your all this, just because I lost my job. No, what did you do to that man? What did you promise that man? What did you, like, y'all had to mentally fuck him up to make him go to that level. You know what I'm saying?
Of law enforcement's routines.
As the investigation continued, CCTV footage emerged of Dorner dumping weapons in the aftermath of the Kwan and Lawrence murders. Staying one step ahead of the police, Dorner turned the tables on his pursuers, and the hunters would now become the hunted. The 7th of February, 2013, 1:45 a.m. Riverside City, California.
But now here in Riverside.
Cab driver Karam Kaoud was working the night shift.
Normal evening, was not that busy, just normal. I'm at the stop sign, like gray to blue truck. This guy, he ran the red light. And the same moment when I was thinking about this, I saw the police officer. I saw a truck pulling up next to the police. There is a car between them.
In that car was Jack Chilson, a local resident who was also in the area.
And that particular night, when I was going my way home, I was at a red light, and when I looked to my right, there was a police officer that pulled up in a squad car.
Riverside officers Michael Crane and Andrew Takayas were out working a routine late-night patrol.
Mike Crane was a remarkable police officer. He had about 11 years of service. In his personal life, he was the father of 2 children.
We got to make this make sense, y'all, because my thing is, if he's LAPD and he got fired from the LAPD, why is he in the OC doing all these crimes? Why is he in Irvine? Why is he in Riverside? That's far from LA. Why is he in Riverside doing all these crimes? Like, y'all got to tie that together for us, man. Why is an LAPD officer so mad at, OC people in the OC? All right.
Andy Takayas was a new officer to the Riverside Police Department.
Karam, Jack, and officers Crane and Takayas were about to become embroiled in the burgeoning spree.
The officers and I were looking at each other, and then I seen something on peripheral vision on my left-hand side, and I seen a large black male in a truck with an assault rifle out his driver's window, resting on the window, and start shooting. I'm looking.
So with this situation, it's just random cops. So he just pulls up and shoot random cops on this situation, is what we're being told. Whoa. All right. He's holding some type of resentment with police. Not the people who fired him, not LAPD, which I would think if, LAPD fired me for some shit, I would take it out on LAPD. Not LAPD, he goes to Riverside and just shoots 2 random Riverside police officers. Has nothing to do with LAPD. All right.
To my left, watching him shooting across my hood into the driver's window, side window of the police officer's squad car.
Opening fire on Crane and Takayas, Dorner would not discriminate when it came to dispatching violence.
He would not discriminate.
He had safety goggles on, and he had a grin on his face. It was like he was happy. He didn't feel sorry or anything. First of all, it's not believing what's happening. I couldn't believe it. The driver slumped forward, that's all I seen. I never seen the passenger. After he shot the police officers, he just left. He didn't peel out. He just, like, nothing ever happened. No speeding, no nothing. Like, he took, like he was going home.
Nah, put some more context to this shit. I'm telling y'all, he didn't just pull up and shoot them 2 niggas for no reason. Y'all know these cops, man, they get in trouble, they do some shit, and they get moved to a different city. I promise you. One of them cops in there had something to do with something that happened to him in LAPD. Nigga, why would he just pull up on random cops? Wait, look, that's too far. Riverside from LA and go shoot random cops in Riverside? And you're mad at LAPD? Nah, nigga, that nigga got moved to LAPD. He did some shit in there, probably blamed you. You got in trouble, lost your job behind him, and you taking it out on him. That's why would you just shoot a random Riverside? Listen, y'all, Riverside from LA is far. It's an hour and a half away, depending on traffic, 2 hours. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You're mad at LAPD. That's the story you're painting. LAPD did him wrong. But nah, now they want to say, oh, he's just shooting random cops because all cops are the same. Nah, nigga. No. He wrote a manifesto. What does that manifesto say? Why did he shoot them niggas?
No emotion.
With the officers helpless, their patrol car strafed with bullets.
See, this is my reaction. I'm doing a reaction. If this was Pun Solved Mysteries, I would have deep dived and researched both these niggas right now. But this ain't Pun Solved Mysteries, because that's the shit I want to know. Like, who the fuck is these niggas that he would pick two random white cops in public while everybody's watching and shoot them? Nah, nigga, that's some personal hate. You got something against one of them motherfuckers in that car. That's not random. Not how he moving, not how strategic he is, not the background he come from, a military background, LAPD background. He ain't doing no sloppy shit just picking random people. You can't shovel me shit and make me swallow it, bro. Trust me. No, I don't believe that.
Taxi driver Karam came to their aid.
My feeling was, at that moment you don't have those feelings, you just act. I left my car and went to them. I saw the passenger police officer sitting up and Officer Taki, the wounded one, he barely can move.
Listen, obviously he's strategic. If he's going to track down the man who represented him kids, our daughter, in Irvine, he knows what time she's come out of her apartment, he knows where she lives. He's strategic. And then y'all saying he just goes from being strategic to being sloppy? That don't fit. How do you just go from being that strategic to just being sloppy? You get what I'm saying? What are y'all trying to cover up with these officers in this car? Let's talk about that. That's what they're not telling us.
And I told him, what should I do? What should I do? So he told me the radio. So I pull it up and press the button and grab it to his mouth and he started to call.
Officer shot multiple times.
He cannot move, he cannot even grab the radio. He was wounded so bad.
When police support arrived on the scene of the shooting, it proved to be too late for Michael Crane.
Two police officers went to his window and touched his neck, I believe, and they made their head like this, that he's dead.
As the spree now entered its fourth day, Officer Andrew Takaias had been left critically wounded. Following the death of Michael Crane, Christopher Dorner's victims now numbered 3.
It's very sad, actually. It's very sad, especially he have 2 kids and a wife.
His attack on Officer Takaias and Officer Crane was cowardice. It was a blindside. It was suppressed fire. They had no idea he was even in the area.
To be murdered for what you do for a living.
They had no idea he was in the area. Well, at this time, shit, did y'all know? Was y'all looking for him? Because they said, nigga, what? He killed the daughter? Oh, he claimed it, is what they said with the manifesto. He claimed it, so now he's on the radar. Okay. So the daughter was killed of the person that represented him. Then he claimed it by posting a manifesto on Facebook, letting y'all know, hey, I'm on one, here I come, get ready. And here's my manifesto of what I'm going to do and why I'm going to do it. And then now they're saying, oh, he just picked random people and killing. That don't fit, man. It don't fit. It don't fit. That's just me personally. Like, these motherfuckers did something to him. One of them motherfuckers in that car did something. They know something. They did something. He took the hit for it. It could be in the military. It don't got to be in LAPD. Obviously, he was going after shit that meant shit to him. This was get back. This is a nigga who felt like all my life I was fucked over from the picture they're painting. So if I'm going to go this route, I'm going to go get at people who I feel like fucked me over in some type of way, or somebody that's going to hurt the people that fucked me over in some type of way. What was the relations here? What was the connection here? Why did he pick these two random niggas? In broad night, like in front of everybody, not giving a fuck. Oh, everybody can identify who he was. That sounds kind of sloppy, bro.
Is the height of prejudice. Here's a man who reviled against prejudice in his manifesto. Yet he was willing to kill somebody just because of what they were wearing that day, just because they were a law enforcement officer.
Cap. I call cap.
Only hours on from the murder of Michael Crane, Christopher Dorner's spree was to hit the skids, and detectives would soon have him in their sights.
We had a full perimeter around the cabin, constant exchange of gunfire. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of rounds being shot back and forth.
He was like a trapped animal at that point. He was prepared for it and more than willing to fight.
In 2013, California would be struck by a killing spree that would make waves around the world.
I think during that week to 10-day period of time, I would say thousands of police officers were involved.
Making his violent intent.
Okay, see what I'm saying? If his manifesto says, I will bring warfare to those in LAPD uniform, why is he in Riverside? It's not adding up, man. This is what I'm saying. Why would he be mad at Chino? Police officers in Chino and in Riverside. Listen, that shit is 2 hours away, an hour and a half away. Why would he be mad at them? So if he did shoot one of them, it's obviously for a reason. They had something to do with LAPD or something to do with why he got fired or something. It's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. The manifesto says, I will bring warfare to those in LAPD uniform. That was not an LAPD uniform, y'all. That wasn't LAPD, period. That's a whole nother motherfucking nigga. You're in Riverside. You know what I mean? See, they try to shovel us shit, y'all. Don't swallow that shit, though. They try to shovel us shit because they control the narrative. They gonna paint this nigga out to be this bad motherfucker who was just snapped and went on a killing spree for no reason, but they're not gonna tell us what they did. They're not gonna tell us who they fucked over from his family, how they fucked him over. They're not gonna tell us that story, because if he was alive, he could tell it. What did y'all do to him, man? Let's hear that side.
Tensions public via an online manifesto. Christopher Dorner announced plans to target his former employers at the LAPD.
He was going to seek revenge, and he would seek revenge in a very violent way.
4 days into his spree, Dorner had claimed the lives of 3.
They made their head like this, that he's dead.
Leaving another critically injured. His indiscriminate killings initiating a statewide climate of fear.
There wasn't much rationality that you could attribute to this individual that you could say, okay, we know who's safe and who's not safe. So a very much heightened sense of danger and vulnerability.
I bet you there's a connection between one of those officers in the car and him. Some type of way. We probably won't be able to find it on YouTube or Google. They probably wiped that shit off the internet, but it's definitely a connection there, y'all. The man is on a rampage. He's very strategic. The pattern don't add up. Listen, y'all know if y'all watch killers and study like niggas who kill like this, who that strategic, they don't make just sloppy ass shit like that. You can't go from being that strategic to just being that sloppy. So that's why I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Right now, like, no. And then it's not on storyline of what y'all painting. He's mad at the LAPD. That's another thing that stood out instantly while we started watching this. Why are you mad at Chino? Why are you mad at Riverside? What are y'all hiding about the two people that was in the car? One of the officers, one of them came from LAPD, for sure. What was the backstory on why he's over there now? Why'd y'all transfer him? Y'all know how these police do. Hey, man, look. We're going to get you up out of here because you did something so criminal or so crazy in L.A. We're just going to say you fired, but we're going to move you to this department. We're going to move you over here. And I feel like there's a connection there. That's something that happened where Christopher Dorner got in trouble. Fucking with it. That's more on storyline, more on what's going on here.
With police paranoia at an all-time high, they at last got a break in the case.
In a remote area on a dirt road, his burned out truck was found.
When Christopher Dorner crashed his truck up in the mountain, I think the majority of us believed he was still up there.
There was an initial concern that this was bait and that Dorner was somewhere nearby ready to snipe.
People were worried. Nobody knew where he was. We were all on edge. You know, we're all keeping weapons by the door. Hopefully not that we're going to confront somebody like Christopher Dorner.
The discovery was made on the edge of the mountain town of Big Bear and would mark a turning point in what had now become one of the largest manhunts in Californian history.
During the actual manhunt right after Christopher Dorner's vehicle was found, there were hundreds of officers up there.
All the police agencies in my county were on tactical alert, the Sheriff's Department, the Riverside Police Department.
The search involved every level of law enforcement in the United States.
With Dorner's reputation for the unpredictable in mind,
every level of law enforcement. Every level of law enforcement. He killed one goddaughter and killed 2 cops. So every level of law enforcement now. This is the biggest in California ever. Boy. They be painting them pictures, though. They be painting them pictures, y'all. Nah, what y'all not telling us, man?
police proceeded with caution as they began their investigation.
He was well armed. He had access to assault weapons, and extremely high-powered assault weapons at that. He had a large quantity of ammunition. He was very mobile.
What are they not telling us about this nigga? For them to react like that, they know something. This nigga was top tier. Nigga, they don't just every level of law enforcement from one nigga just for killing 2 people, 3 people. And like, nah. What was he doing for y'all? What was he doing for y'all? What information does he have that he probably told y'all he's gonna let get loose? Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, man.
With the normally tranquil ski resort now overrun with detectives,
but
the search for Dorner began.
We're using snowcats and APCs with chains on them to get to those areas.
Deputies say they searched 200 homes in an 8-mile wooded area where Christopher Dorner's burnt-out truck was discovered.
So he wrote a memoir. I'm going to bring terror. I'm going to bring extreme terror down on the LAPD. I'm going to bring terror. I'm going to bring terror. And all he did was shoot the daughter and boom, okay. Rest in peace to her and the boyfriend. Then boom, he shoots a cop. Now, when he shot the cop, did he single out that cop specifically? Because what happened to the other cop? He didn't die. How many shots was it? See, this is where it gets deep, man. This is where it gets deep. Did he single-handedly like pull up, oh yeah, you caught some strays because you're in the car, but that's my man who I want right there. I want this one. But you just happen to be in the car, so you're going to catch some strays, but I want him. That's what it feels like right now. He had his man who he wanted. He's going after people that has ties to to whatever the fuck pissed him off and whatever, whoever is responsible for why he feels this way. And then all of a sudden, the man that said, I'm finna bring terror down, he leaves his car where everybody can see it and burns it so that they can identify it. And he's letting you know, I'm in this area, and he stays in this area. This shit don't seem like sloppy to y'all. Like, come on, man. This shit seems too sloppy, man. It's not making sense. I never really dove into it. I just watched what was on the news, but it's like, it ain't adding up. And then he was just that easy to find. Y'all knew, oh, the car was right here burning. He's in the area. Oh, wait, he is in the area. He's in this house. Oh, let's have a shootout with him. Oh, let's burn the house. Let's blow it up. Oh, boom, he's dead.
Knocking on doors, going through fields and forests, trying to see if they could locate him or find him.
You're talking about thousands of cabins in isolated areas. And as many as they searched out there, he had the advantage, no question.
You could easily find an unoccupied cabin and maybe break in and stay there.
Right.
The challenges
that
of
makes
tracking
sense.
Dorner down in such...
That makes sense. He's just that sloppy. Let me find I know they're coming out here. I left my car here, and let me just find a cabin that nobody's in, and let me just camp out. Let me just stay here, even though I know they're finna be on the way. Make that make sense, man. Not making sense.
Hostile terrain would be considerable.
Just the element of surprise that he actually had the benefit of. When you don't know where somebody is hiding, it gives them an extreme advantage.
He didn't know if he was hiding behind a tree with a sniper's rifle. They were trudging around trying to locate him, and he could be behind any tree or any corner waiting to shoot them and kill them.
As the story began to break worldwide, observers started to examine what might be driving Dorner to commit his crimes.
All right, let's see. Here's what they're saying. They're about to basically say, here's the motive for his actions and why he was like this and what he was on. Let's see what they say.
Sit there and really think hard, is this the guy that I knew, or was the guy that I knew a facade? I mean, was he, pulling one over on me all those years? To see somebody go from being a bright, capable young man with a bright future to America's Most Wanted, mass murderer, I was flabbergasted.
I think what Mr. Dorner ultimately...
Bro, y'all notice they haven't talked to one black person this whole video? I'm not feeling that. It really just hit me right now. They haven't talked to one black person this whole video. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's just been all white people talking this whole video.
Realized was that, in a sense, his world was crumbling around him. Everything that he had tried to accomplish and set out as goals, whether it be in the military or in law enforcement, didn't end well for him. He was a failure, and he couldn't deal with that. He couldn't accept that.
Yeah, let's highlight the rifle that says vengeance on it. Like this ain't the rifle he had in the military when he was serving you motherfuckers. Come on, man. Now y'all want to paint that to like, come on. It's crazy how they paint narratives on people, man. That's why I'm like, you can't trust these motherfucking government motherfuckers, man. Y'all know how they are. Y'all know how they do people. What the fuck did y'all have? What did he have over their heads? What information was he sitting on? Tell us the real, man. That's what they never tell. They don't want that to get out. Because why is every department in the military, every department, period, is looking for this one man just from killing a girl and her boyfriend and a police officer? We done seen somebody do way worse crimes than this, and this ain't never happened. What the fuck was he holding over y'all heads? What information did he have? Who was he finna bring down? Who did he threaten to bring down? This is crazy.
And he had nowhere else to go. And ultimately wrought retribution.
In the years that followed his dismissal from the LAPD, Dorner would suffer further personal setbacks, resulting in a steady slide into depression.
Paint the picture.
Being depressed, as Dorner suggested.
Paint the picture, y'all. Paint the picture. They're painting the picture right now. Ah, shut the fuck up. You're lying.
Is not the sole reason why individuals engage in spree killings. No doubt he was depressed. What Dorner had that was different to the millions of other people who become severely depressed is he had narcissistic tendencies, he had access to firearms, and he also had a willingness to kill to prove his point.
All of a sudden, y'all know this. Y'all didn't know this when y'all hired him, right? But all of a sudden, y'all know this. Paint the picture. They're painting a picture of this nigga so cold. See, they be controlling narratives with this manifesto shit. I hear you. Yes, it is people that write manifestos. But I feel like a lot of times these motherfuckers put these manifestos in place and they only tell us what they want us to think was in the manifesto. What they use what they want to say. Oh, all of a sudden he's depressed. He's a serial killer. Oh, he's this, he's that. What the fuck? Y'all didn't sense all that when y'all hired him? Y'all didn't sense that in the military? He was in the military. Like what? That's all I be saying, man. These motherfuckers. That's why when I was talking to AD about when they was talking about the little kid with the manifesto and all this, like, bro, they always paint the picture with that shit, bro. That be my whole thing. I'm not one of those people that just believe everything you put in my face, bro. Nah, nigga. Because I know what y'all capable of. I know what the government is capable of. I know they can control narratives. They can paint motherfuckers to be this biggest killer or a terrorist. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck they want them to paint. And make you out to be like, oh, all of a sudden, you know, everything was fine when y'all used him for what y'all needed him for. But when he said, hey, I'm going to expose this shit, that's when y'all turn and tear a motherfucker down.
With his life at its lowest ever ebb, Dorner began to ready himself for what he called his last resort.
After he was dismissed from the police department, he was apparently buying and selling guns and suppressors and ammunition, and the whole time stewing about what had happened to him.
And also, don't think for 1 second that these motherfuckers can't control your Facebook and put something on your Facebook and act like it's him typing this shit. He left a manifesto on Facebook. See, the average motherfucker be like, oh, he told everybody he was going to do this. It was him. They can control your Facebook. They can, what? They got hackers. You know what be happening with these fucking top-level hackers when they get these motherfuckers? They don't fire them. They hire them to work for the government. You work for us now. We're not putting you in jail. I mean, you can't do what people gonna think you're in jail, but you work for us now. So you're saying they can't hack his Facebook and put up a manifesto, a quote-unquote manifesto on his page, and now we can paint this narrative that he's this person? It's crazy, man. Stay woke, stay woke.
Following the killings in Irvine and Riverside, Dorner had fled to the mountains of Southern California. Search parties continued to scour Big Bear for any sign of the fugitive killer. However, their progress was slowed by hostile weather conditions.
The SWAT team and more than 120 heavily armed officers have been combing the area for 2 days. The snow slowing but not stopping their search.
Locals and authorities alike feared Christopher Dorner may have slipped the net.
Other than his burned out vehicle, we had no specific information that he was still in the Big Bear area.
The longer the time passed, more and more people were thinking that he was gone.
However, such feelings would prove unfounded. The 12th of February 2013, 12:22 p.m. Mountain Vista Resort, Big Bear. 911 received a call from holiday cabin owner Karen Reynolds.
911 emergency, what are you reporting?
Right outside Dorner.
You guys were tied up? Yeah, tied up still.
He went into a cabin where a couple were arrived, I guess, after he had broken into that cabin, and he...
Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. No.
He held them, tied them up, and held them captive.
The victims are managed to free themselves. They call the authorities, and they report that he has taken their car.
What's the make and model? It's a Nissan Rogue, ROGUE.
Those people are very fortunate that they are still alive.
With fresh information to hand, officers Jim Simons and Mike Medici now had a hot lead on a trail they feared had gone cold.
Suspect left 15 to 30 ago and took keys to Nissan Rogue.
Our mission was to find Dorner, was to find the car he was driving, was to try to outthink him where he was going next.
Walk down the mountain.
Christopher Dorner made it very clear that we, law enforcement officers, were his targets. So yeah, it obviously heightened our awareness.
While officers Simons and Medici continued to pursue Dorner, unsuspecting local resident Rick Helterbrake would be confronted by the most wanted man in America.
Okay.
Right about in here, I see a crashed car, and then I see Dorner coming out of the snowbank right there, right at me. I remember him coming at me. I remember the vest. He had a big ballistics vest on with pockets in it. He's got a gun right at my head. I could tell it was some kind of assault rifle.
I can remember him coming at me. He had a gun at my head. Okay. But he's a stone cold killer. And he know everybody's looking for him, but he lets you live. But he's a stone cold killer, right? He's a stone cold killer. Make it make sense, man.
I go like this, put my truck in park. He says, I don't want to hurt you. Just get out and start walking. I had that sense that I wasn't one of his targets. You know, he wanted to kill cops, and I wasn't a cop. I left the...
So why did he tie up a family? If he wanted to kill cops and he gave you a pass and he don't want to hurt you, yeah, he only wants to kill cops. Come on, man. Again, make this shit make sense, man. It's not connecting. It's not connecting for me. I know y'all see it, man. It's not connecting at all. What they're painting is not the same person actions. They just said he was a stone cold killer. He was ready to kill at will. All this now. Oh, wait. He only want to kill LAPD. But then, wait, he doesn't kill LAPD. He kills an officer from Chino. And then here goes his car burning, and he stays in the area, even though he's one of the most hunted people with all the divisions from everywhere coming looking for him, he still stays in the area because he wants to kill cops and he knows they're coming. Nigga, man, it doesn't add up.
The truck roughly in this position right here. I got up and I started walking up the road.
So he let him go, knowing that he's being hunted by all the agencies. He let him go to be able to tell, I just saw him, y'all. If I'm a nigga that's on a run, I'm not doing that. If I, like, what? It doesn't add up, man, is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't add up. I'm finna rain vengeance on your department, but I'm this sloppy. Nothing yet he has done shows me he's finna rain vengeance on the department of LAPD. Nothing he has done. Except for the daughter, and that's what they're saying. All right, cool, I get that.
You realize you just got confronted by the most wanted man in America, and, you know, he let me go.
After Rick alerted authorities to his encounter with Dorner,
A white Dodge pickup truck headed
Down Glass Road.
The pursuit would hurtle towards its explosive end.
So it was that easy, y'all. Cap. This shit is not adding up. What it's giving is they set this nigga up, man, and they had to paint a picture on this nigga that the motherfuckers would not question when they allegedly take him out. We, the people, would not question it, and we would understand. But nah, the way they're painting all this bullshit on top of each other, and it's not adding up. None of us would look into this shit. I know this is my first time looking to it. Well, it happened 2013. I just went with like, damn, he was out here knocking shit down. And then they got him. But now that you look into it, it's like, wait a minute. This shit don't add up. They was painting pictures in the news. Same way they do anything else. Y'all done learned that with Trump and Fox. All this shit, like, you know, you can control the narratives with these news stations and all that, depending on who you are and what you want to push, what narrative you want to push. But it's like, when you dig into it, because if this was Unsolved Mysteries, I would dig. I would deep dive. It's a lot of connections that I'm still scratching my head on right here. Like, that don't make sense. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Let's see.
All available units to Glass Road and 38.
The terrain out there was wide open, nothing but trees and snow. You talk about rubbernecking. We had to look in a swivel for him because you didn't know what tree he was behind, what set of rocks he might be behind.
We knew he was not going to go easy. We knew it was probably going to end up in some type of confrontation involving gunfire.
San Bernardino Sheriff's...
How did y'all? He just let a man go. He's showing you he has compassion. He just let a man go. He didn't shoot him or nothing. He know that he's being hunted. He's the most wanted man in the world right now. And he just lets a man go. Takes his car and just says, hey, there you go. You can walk, man. I don't want to hurt you. So which one is it, nigga? Is he a stone cold killer? What is he?
Deputies Alex Collins and Jeremiah McKay also joined the chase.
Jeremiah was very familiar with the Big Bear area. He had been stationed up there as a deputy with the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, so he was hot on Mr. Dorner's trail.
Are we sure he's in the vehicle? And what tracks are we following, vehicle or foot?
The radio traffic told us to go a direction which was a right turn for us. Jeremiah went left, and we did make that right turn according to the radio.
We got to the intersection, and that's when we started hearing the gunfire.
Shots fired, 7 Oaks cabin, 7 Oaks cabin.
Copy, shots fired, 7 Oaks cabin.
As shots began to ring out, deputies Collins and McKay found themselves in the line of fire.
Returning fire.
Copy, returning fire.
Officer down, officer down.
Copy, officer down.
Alex Collins had taken a shot to the face and another 3 to his chest, arm and leg. Dorner's crosshairs would then fall on Jeremiah McKay.
We turned around, we pulled up and saw Jeremiah on the ground.
145, another officer down.
Copy, another.
Shot the nigga in the face 3 times in the chest.
Officer down.
I saw that Jeremiah McKay was down and he wasn't moving. It appeared that he was dead.
Christopher Dorner had claimed another life and had left another officer seriously wounded. Staging his last stand, Dorner barricaded himself into an uninhabited cabin, taking aim at anyone in his sights.
Fire, automatic fire coming inbound.
Mike Medici and Jim Simons would return fire.
Dorner started shooting at the deputies pinned down behind their vehicle.
Automatic fire inbound.
So we immediately just started shooting at Christopher Dorner in the cabin, trying to get him to stop firing.
All you would hear are thuds, basically, coming over your head. There was no...
I still want to know what he did in the military. Because obviously, he's shooting with precision. Shot a nigga in the face 3 times in the chest, shot the other nigga up from a distance. So what did he do in the military? What did y'all have him doing in the military? That's what they haven't told you. Y'all notice they haven't told us that? They skipped right past his whole military history. They skipped past that. Let's just go from his high school to LAPD. Why y'all not telling us about his military experience? What did he do for y'all?
No question in my mind he was not going to just give up or stop.
SWAT is on scene.
More teams of officers responded.
Listen, what did he do in the military? They had to send every agency for this man. They don't do that for everybody. He's the world's most dangerous man just from killing somebody's daughter and their boyfriend and 1 police officer. World's most dangerous man. No. World's, they say world's, not U.S. most dangerous. Pay attention to the words they use, y'all. The world's most dangerous. Huh? Because you killed a couple and 1 cop? But somebody who takes out 60 people or 80 people somewhere, somebody who hijacks airplanes and crashes into...
Exchange of gunfire. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of rounds being shot back and forth.
Deputies are still down in the kill zone.
And he would start shooting at the deputies pinned behind the car again. We can hear the rounds, hitting their car.
They are popping off smoke to get the wounded deputies out.
Under the cover of smoke, officers Collins and McKay were retrieved from the kill zone. Deputy Collins would receive treatment for his injuries. As the gun battle raged, officers moved in to pin down the man they had been hunting for.
The San Bernardino SWAT team started making a tactical plan.
4.5, we need the armored vehicle.
4.5, copy, we need the armored vehicle.
At 4:15 p.m., more than 2 hours into the cabin siege, and 9 days since the spree began, Dorner's last chance of escape was about to go up in smoke. In 2013, Christopher Dorner would embark on a killing spree, declaring his intent to dispatch vigilante justice against his former employers at the LAPD.
He was a ghost. You never knew where he was or firing from.
The out-of-control ex-cop.
The out-of-control ex-cop. Bro, this is wild. This is wild. The out-of-control ex-cop. Out of control. He just let a man go. It don't sound like he was out of control. It sounded like he was out to take out those who had something to do with him. He wasn't out of control. He was on a mission. Yes, I'll say that. Yes, he was on a mission, but he was getting his man. He knew who he wanted. That's what it sounded like to me. It don't sound like he's just out of control. Now, y'all paint a picture like he's just out here shooting random people, but then yet all the agencies are on him at a moment where he's probably like, I can't let nobody see me. Somebody pulls up with a car, lets them see him, and he said, hey, man, I don't want to hurt you. Go about your business. but he's out of control. Don't make sense.
Would take the lives of 4 in 9 days, leaving 2 other victims critically wounded. Sought by law enforcement authorities from across California, Dorner would stage his last stand in a remote mountain cabin near the tourist town of Big Bear.
There was no question in my mind he was not going to just give up or stop.
Officer down, officer down.
Even with the cabin surrounded and the odds stacked against him, Dorner seemed determined to continue his fight until the last.
They made announcements to come out and give yourself up numerous times.
Periodically, the gunfire from inside the cabin continued. At that point, it was very obvious he had no intentions of giving up at all.
So what did y'all do?
Having refused all negotiations for over 2 hours, at 4:15 p.m., SWAT teams would execute a plan designed to smoke Dorner out, deploying potent tear gas canisters, known as burners, into the cabin.
Control 61 Lincoln, we're going to be deploying a gas burner.
Ultimately, the sheriff's department ended up throwing in a smoke canister, which it kind of explodes and expels the gas with a flame.
We have a fire.
Unfortunately, that started a fire inside the cabin.
Oh, man. These motherfuckers are fucking crazy, dog. Unfortunately, it started a fire. We didn't know it was going to do that. We're professionals. We use this all the time, but we didn't know it was going to do that. Why would it do that? I don't know. Unfortunately, it caused a fire.
The whole time, we never got any communication back from Christopher Dorner in any way. No intentions of turning himself in or giving himself up.
Okay, guys, be ready on the number 4 side. We have fire in the front. It might come out the back.
Watching events unfold live on TV, Dorner's former friend, James Usera, felt mixed emotions.
It was bizarre to sit there watching the TV screen. The cabin was on fire.
One side fully engulfed, fire on the 4.
That was the moment where I kind of knew that, okay, my friend's gonna die, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. He ain't coming out of that alive.
Shortly after the cabin became engulfed by flames, a single sound emerged from the hut.
It sounded like one shot fired from inside the residence.
That signaled the end of 9 days.
Suicide. He shot himself, is what they're going to say. He shot himself and burned in the house.
It would rank as some of the most chaotic in California's recent history.
Copy, one shot fired from inside the residence.
We heard a single gunshot, which we believed was Christopher Dorner committing suicide, taking his own life.
Now tell me this ain't like some shit, like a story one of y'all could write. We could write this story. But the storyline just doesn't add up to me, is all I'm saying. I'm finna rain vengeance and terror down on the LAPD. And nothing he did rain vengeance or terror down on the LAPD. Like, it goes back to what I'm saying. They control these manifestos, man. Like, but it got to make sense, man. And I know y'all want to paint the picture. I know y'all want to paint this picture for him to be this evil dude. But why are y'all not highlighting what he did for y'all in the military? Y'all talked about all the bad shit that happened, you know, in probation and when he was in the police academy, whatever, and what happened, the complaints he got on LAPD. But y'all didn't say nothing bad about his military experience. Y'all didn't touch on that. So he must have did some excellent things for y'all in the military. Y'all don't want to put light on it.
Even in death, you know, he denied reality.
I think he took the cowardly way out.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. They gotta get at this nigga, man. The whole time they been getting at this nigga like he just. This is wild.
He was man enough to take the lives of several people, but he was not man enough to do the time for it.
Come on, dog.
He chose the narcissist's way out by...
Oh, my God. Stop it! Stop it, damn it! Stop it. So all y'all just gonna say all this crazy shit like, no. What did you motherfuckers do? What did y'all have over that man? What did he have over y'all? What was it? Y'all not telling us shit. Fuck you. I don't believe this shit.
By ending his own life, making the final decision over life and death, he chose to control what happened to him, not the police.
And you chose to control the storyline and the narrative, motherfucker, that the public, that y'all trying to paint this perception. And we know y'all lying, because we know what y'all capable of and we know what y'all do. And we know how low you motherfuckers will go to cover your asses. We know that.
For detectives and citizens alike, the end of Dorner's spree offered a chance to reflect on the events of the previous 9 days.
The sense of relief was nobody else is going to die today.
I was very relieved that we had finally put an end to this madness that he had created.
This madness he created. Oh, man, this is crazy.
He was an evil man. He came to an evil end, and the world's better for it.
He was an evil man. He came to an evil end, and the world's better. Let's hear about y'all evil motherfuckers. What y'all did. So y'all not evil. LAPD, y'all not evil. Y'all don't do evil shit. Y'all didn't have him doing evil shit. Was he trying to tell y'all he didn't want to do some of the evil shit y'all trying to have him do? Is that why he got fired?
As the smoke from the smouldering cabin began to clear, thoughts turned towards what could have been behind Dorner's decision to conduct his killing spree.
Chris was a very capable young man. He could have done anything. I mean, he was smart, he was educated, so to see it end the way that it did.
He was smart. He was educated. See what I'm saying? That whole, just put all this shit they've been saying, what everybody's saying, put it together. All this shit don't add up. See, I watch too much crime shit, y'all. I watch too much. I watch way too much. This doesn't add up as somebody who left a memoir stating those things he was going to do versus actions. The actions don't match. The perception that they're painting don't match. Like, all of a sudden he goes from being strategic to sloppy. And even sloppier. He went from being strategic to sloppier. This is somebody that was in the military. This is somebody that knows how they think. This is somebody that served on a force that knows how they think. So you're saying he's that sloppy? Come on, man.
You know, we're all left asking questions about what was the catalyst, you know, what made him snap.
Dorner was in his 30s at the time. This is a time in many men's lives when they feel they should be reaching the pinnacle of success. And instead, Dorner was sliding downhill fast.
How? Based on what? Because he felt like LAPD was racist, and that's what the story y'all said. He felt like LAPD was racist, and what was the trial about? See, that's where Unsolved Mysteries come about. What was the trial that he took LAPD what was he saying? You know what I mean? Why did he take LAPD to trial? What are the real details of why he took them to trial? The person that represented him, obviously, if he went and killed the nigga daughter that was supposed to be on the side that represented him, that was the first person he went to go kill somebody that he loved, the daughter. He went to go kill the person's daughter who represented him. Obviously, there was something in that trial, and you were on the LAPD side to where he felt, this is me thinking if I was a killer or something. Oh, you fucked me over, nigga. So now I'm finna go fuck you over. You act like you was on my side against it and made me lose, so now I'm finna go fuck you over. What was the trial about? That's Unsolved Mysteries. And why did I pinpoint this nigga in Chino and Riverside out of all the cops? I didn't go to LAPD like my memoir said and rain down on the LAPD and kill somebody at LAPD. I went way to Riverside and I killed this one specific nigga. And then I drove right up to the mountains, Big Bear, crashed my car, set it on fire. I let some guy see me, even though I know I'm the most hunted man, most wanted man, and I let you go. But I tied up a family right before that. I tied up a family, but I didn't tie you up. Make that make sense. I tied up the family, but I didn't tie you up. I let you go. I said, I don't want to hurt you. Come on, it don't make sense. But yet, he's a stone cold killer. His life was coming to an end. He was going downhill fast. It don't make sense, man.
And it's that lack of success that made him believe that there was little hope for the future and he was going to get even through the barrel of a gun.
Come on, man.
He's taken on this anger and fury and personalized it. And at that point, he starts to lose sense of reality and focus more on this idea of gaining revenge.
Where? What is saying that? What is saying that? Like, why are y'all painting this extreme picture? Like, what is saying that? If anything, it feels like y'all coming for him. He's defending himself. I don't know, man. Listen, that's a cold narrative, but I think I'm right. I don't know, man. This shit be deeper than rap, y'all. This shit be deeper than rap.
It's not something I ever would have expected, but can you honestly say that there's anybody you've ever met who you would expect would be a killer someday? I mean, nobody expects that of other people.
Like many other grudge-based spree killers, Dorner is clearly laying the blame at the feet of his victims. He's prepared to murder a number of individuals and see it as being a justifiable crime. This forms part of his narcissistic personality. He's more keen on getting his version of events across than any remorse he may feel for the victims.
Without the bravery displayed by officers in the line of duty, the ultimate outcome of Dorner's spree may have been far graver.
Law enforcement is full of heroes. The men and women of all of the agencies that participated in the manhunt for Dorner acted as heroes, and every one of them faced danger.
Hey, y'all, this is crazy.
Every time they put on this uniform or one like it and went out into public, and they know it.
What is beyond doubt is that the loss of innocent life suffered at Dorner's.
Rest in peace to them, man. Rest in peace to them. Rest in peace to the couple. Rest in peace to the couple. We have to dig into this unsolved mysteries. Did Dorner and the daughter have a connection? Was the daughter the ex-wife of Dorner? Ex-girlfriend? See, it's always something that's left out, y'all. But this ain't Unsolved Mysteries. This is just a reaction video, man. This is just a reaction video. Let's keep going.
Hand over those 9 days was senseless.
You know, Dorner never killed anybody that knew him or anybody that had any direct connection with all the things that he thought had been done wrong to him. All of his 4 victims were completely innocent.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously an extreme shock to all the police officers when we do lose a colleague.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of brings us together closer. I think it increases our camaraderie because we realize that, you know, at any time one of us can be shot and killed.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Deputy McKay's funeral service. I ran into an old friend of mine that I hadn't seen for probably 15 or 20 years.
Did you?
And I was just talking with him at the funeral.
And what did he say?
And then he told me that his daughter was Deputy McKay's wife.
Okay.
And at that moment, I started crying.
Look at this cap-ass nigga, man. Look at this cap-ass nigga, man.
It's a very tragic situation.
This nigga cap. This nigga's cap. All right, man. All right. Shout outs, man. Hey, that was a crazy one, man. That definitely, I ain't gonna lie, that deserves a Pun Solved Mysteries. We gotta look into that one, y'all. It's a lot of unanswered questions. It's a lot of unanswered questions for me. I'm over here scratching my head at a lot of this shit. It just does not add the fuck up. It's a lot of questions unanswered. Nobody even thought to look into. There has to be a connection between the daughter and Christopher, or the boyfriend, or whatever. It's something. Why would he just pinpoint her out of all people? It doesn't add up. And how sloppy they're making them. These feel like targeted attacks to me. They feel targeted. You know what I mean? Maybe, just maybe, that was his ex-girlfriend. Boom. And the cop, you know what I mean? The other one he shot was, you know, cheated on him with her. Boom, boom, boom. Who knows? It be a little simple shit like that. And they cover it up and put a whole motive on it to protect their own. Wait, that's the sergeant's daughter and that's Wooty Woo's son. So let's put a memoir on Facebook and say that he was out to kill him. He's out to kill him. Who knows, man? This shit be all, you know how this shit goes, man. All this fucking propaganda they push into our goddamn, into the media, man. But yeah, that one was called The Case of Christopher Dorner, a police officer's descent into violence, man. That is on Real Stories channel on YouTube. Make sure y'all check them out. I'm definitely going to follow them and check out some more shit, see what they got going. Shout out to Real Stories, man. Hey, shout out to you for tuning in. Now be sure to smash the like and download Underdog Fantasy. All you have to do is pick higher or lower on players and you can win big. If you want to make some extra cash and have more fun while you watch sports, download Underdog and get up to 1,000 times bonus cash. Just use my code, AceBoys.